Hi everyone, this is Liz with 143 Handmade, and today I am inspecting my grandmother's, or not my grandmother's, it's my at least great-grandmother, possibly great-great-grandmother, I'm not sure which. I believe that this was made by my mother's father's mother or grandmother, but I'm not 100% sure which one. But what I'm doing today is I'm inspecting it because I've decided to, because there's a lot of damage to the outer, I don't know, 10 inches or so, 10 to 12 inches. I don't need it to be, you know, blemish free. That's fine. But most of the staining is on the outside edge. But the main reason why we're cutting into it is because of things like this, that I do not have the ability to correct, to fix. So I'm going to trim it down and make it a little bit smaller of a blanket that still has some good integrity on it, rebind it, and I'm also going to put a new back on it because the backing material is not good. So, but what I'm doing right now is deciding whether or not, but where exactly am I going? Am I going with the 10 inches? Am I going with 12 inches? You know, where am I going to cut? So, let's see, here's my 12-inch ruler. This is my 12.5-inch ruler. So if I spin it this way and just kind of hang that 1/2 inch off of there, and then slide it, that'll be about what I cut off. Like I said, I'm not worried so much about the blemishes as I am the tearing. I want to make sure I'm getting, you know, back behind any significant tearing. Okay, I think that the 12 inches will work just fine for this area. So, but that's only like 1/4 of the quilt, excuse me. I'm gonna go ahead and shift it over and then double check this side. Sorry if that was shaking the camera around. My table's not the most stable. Yeah, I'll just kind of slide this along. Yeah, that'll be fine. Actually, this side, do I even need to take any off of this side? Because I might only need to take off that edge and that edge. And I might be able to leave this one, it looks like. Because I'm not really, like I said, I'm not worried about the backing because I plan to just put a new backer on it. But yeah, no, it looks like this edge is totally intact. Except for the binding. You know, the binding is really worn, but a few little stains, but nothing significant. Okay, so I won't. Yeah, so there's no reason to cut this edge, so I'm not going to. I'm going to spin it though, so I can double check this edge. Because I don't know, yeah, okay, so this edge has some pretty significant damage on it as well. So, but what if I come down here to the 10 inches? Or even, let's see, because this is where the damage is, so let's go, it's right along here in the 6-inch mark. Let's see if that'll cut off all of the damaged areas. Yeah, there's some damage to this one as well. But if I go to the 6-inch mark, yep, all the damages would be taken off. Okay. So along this edge, I'm going to cut 6 inches off. But there's a big hole right there, so this side I'll need to go 10 at least. Okay, so let's go ahead and just start with this edge and cut the 6 inches off. And I know a lot of people, you know, are very against the idea of cutting these quilts, antique quilts, but the thing is, my family is very utilitarian. You know, we don't have a lot of fancy things, and we tend to use things till they can't be used anymore. And so I really do believe that the grandmother, whoever she was, that made this, would just be glad that it's still here, it's still in the family, and it's still loved, it's still being loved, it's going to be loved, you know, in its new format. So, okay, I have to grab a couple of rulers and my rotary cutter. Changed my mind. I decided I'm going to go with scissors. I'm going to mark it and then cut it with scissors instead of trying to use the rotary cutter, because it's really not straight anymore. So, I don't know. And this is, oh wait, no, this is not what I thought it was. This is a dry erase marker. That's not what I want. It's a friction marker, and it will, the ink will just wash right out with just a little bit of water. So I'm just going to draw a line, just moving it, moving the ruler along. Wait, did I know I do it on, but I don't even see it. Let me make sure that this is actually going to write on here. Okay, it is, but it's just too light. I can't see it. Yeah, maybe I can do it this time, huh? So yeah, 6 inches. Yeah, that's gonna mark on there plenty good enough. Okay, I'll be right back. I will let the puppy outside. Okay. Okay, so I've marked all the way down this one side, and I did the first mark that way at the 10-inch line, but I'm not sure I'm actually going to cut there because I don't know if the damage is confined to that 10 inches or not. So I'm going to spin it. Sorry about that. Let me double check the view. Okay. Sorry it's so wobbly. This is a new camera stand. I'm not sure I'm going to keep it. So, this is on the 10-inch mark. So this corner is the corner that has damage on it. So, let's see if the 10-inch mark covers it. Yep, the 10-inch mark will do it just fine. So that way I can cut off as little as possible and still get the significantly damaged portion off. And also, just throwing it out there, I'm not just cutting it off and throwing it away. I'm going to, with these cutoff sections, I'm going to make Christmas ornaments. And that will be another video where I show that. So none of this is being wasted. None of it's going away. You know, yes, I am cutting this blanket, but and I'm also, I plan to make myself a journal cover out of this quilt because it's for my sewing, documenting my quilting journey. Since I had to cut off some of this anyways, and I make junk journals, I couldn't resist that idea. You know, and there's gonna be enough. It's not like I'm cutting off just so I can make a journal. Not at all. I would never do that. But since I have to cut it off anyways, the damaged portions are not a big deal for a junk journal. Because I should be able to get enough, because there's big chunks in between where the damage is being left, or that's having to be cut off anyways, just because, you know, I don't want to cut off the damaged portion and cut back off and have this inset, you know, so I have to just cut the whole strip off. So there should be plenty for a journal cover that's not damaged. So, but yeah, I would not cut an antique quilt up just to make something else out of it if it was in good condition. However, this one, it's, you know, it's got lots of rips and tears and things that need to be, or that I can't repair, and I have talked to other people about repairing it, and the cost is just prohibitive for me. And this way too, I can gift all of the various cousins that I know, because obviously with it possibly being the great-great-grandmother, I don't know all of those relatives, you know, of all of her descendants, but at the same time I will be able to make these Christmas ornaments and distribute them to the cousins that I know. And several of them will be very, very excited about this. My brother and his wife as well. You know, I can just, more members of the family can have a little piece of this heritage by making the ornaments. So that was why. Well, that was our thought process behind it, going ahead and deciding to do this, because it's just been sitting in a suitcase, actually, is what it's been stored in. So that way it wouldn't get damaged. And I'm really trying hard to destash, and I'm not just like my craft stuff, but like everything. I've dealt with depression for a long time. And I've allowed a lot of clutter to build up in my house. And in the last few years, I've been really coming out of it. Well, maybe not coming out of it. I think depression is just, you know, it's one of those things that, and I don't know that it ever completely goes away. But things have been better the last few years. And so, I've been really trying to clean up that clutter. So, okay, gonna check the camera view one more time. Yep, you can see that really good. So here I go. Go ahead and make that first cut. And, you know, if this is just, you can't handle watching, I totally understand. Feel free to look away. To change the channel, but just remember that this is my family's heritage. I did not go buy somebody else's, you know, family something to cut it up. And none of this will be thrown in the garbage. None of it. yes, I am cutting it. I'm cutting right through those flowers. And that part, it does, you know, I don't love that. But the flowers are the part that's damaged, unfortunately. So, let's see here. I think I'm going to go ahead and come this way. You probably can't see me, but I'm just coming up this other direction to make this straight cut and cut this guy off. Okay. So there we go. Now I have this piece to work from. And I'm going to set that aside. Pull this down. And start cutting this direction. Now the main body of the quilt, the plan for it is, I'm going to put a new back on it. I have some Sunbonnet Sues that another ancestor, I'm not sure, maybe the same one, had cut, but never made into a blanket. So I have those, and I have way more than I need. I have 30 something, so that's more than enough. I mean, for a baby blanket, you can use as few as one, or one right in the center, and it'd be super cute. So I was thinking about making at least a Sunbonnet Sue quilt, or not quilt, but block to go in the center and the back. Part of it was because I really don't have an exact plan yet, because I wasn't 100% sure how much of this quilt I was going to be able to save. So, but I am being able to save the majority of it. Oh, one more side to trim, and then I can measure it and start designing the other side. But I'm going to rebind it, and then it will be not necessarily an everyday use blanket again, but it will be a blanket that we feel comfortable using. My oldest son just asked his girlfriend to marry him, and she has 2 daughters, and so I basically became, grandparents to a very beautiful pair of girls. 8. I'm sorry, I've only met them a couple of times. They live a little over an hour away, so it's a little tricky to meet and hang out, but she's adorable. They're adorable. They're all awesome. And so, yeah, let's see, Bella's the older one. She's, like I said, she's in 1st grade this year, so 7 or so. And then, and a 4-year-old. She just turned 4. So I really wanted to get this finished and out so I could wrap them in it and get some pictures of them wrapped in this blanket and all of that history. So, okay, let's see here. This blanket measures, I'd say like 50, because my mat measures to 57 over there in that corner, or 58, and it's a little bit more than that, so I'd say like 59 that direction. And then this direction, I'm gonna have to tuck this corner in past where the camera can see, but it's just to use my mat to measure with. So it's almost a square now. This one, let's see, it's 58. 61, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So like 67, like 60 by 67 or so. So this is a great on the couch quilt, or in the blanket quilts, or in the blanket, in the chairs quilt. So, and I didn't even have to do anything on this edge, other than I am going to, obviously when I bind it, I'll put fresh binding on this edge as well. So, and as you can see, I didn't worry about all the different staining. That was not my concern. My concern is the batting that's falling out, both on the front areas that I cut off, but there is a bunch of little spots. They're very hard to see because of the type of backing on here, but there's a bunch of little spots where the batting is just poofing out in the back. So that's why it's just getting a whole new backer, and that will be next episode of my Nana's or great-grandma's, yeah, I'll just call it that, grandmother's flower garden quilt restoration. So thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe to finish the rest of the series, see what else I do to it.